Hello, Grand Floridian. Is my room ready yet? On today's episode, we're talking about one of our all-time favorite Disney hotels, the Grand Floridian. Let's bring back the magic.
Bring back the magic for all to see. Together we'll discover all the joy and glow. In every story, there's a little bit of gold. Join our podcast adventure, let the magic unfold.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Bring Back the Magic podcast. This episode, don't forget to check out our web store at Theme Park Chuckle to grab a Disney t-shirt or two. This week's t-shirt, you guessed it, the throwback to Pleasure Island. We love it. You love it. Buy some of them. Support us so we don't have to live on the street. Okay, so...
No pressure.
I am one of your hosts. I'm Josh.
And I'm his sister, Gina. And for those of you just joining us, welcome aboard. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, we would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a minute of the magic. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a follow. Also, we really do appreciate any comments, reviews that you guys leave for us. It means so much to us. And in between episodes, how about you give us a follow on our social media, which would be at BBT Magic Podcast. We are active on Instagram and TikTok. We do have a Facebook. I wouldn't find too much on there. I'm not good at that one. But I also want to say we have a newly, thanks to Josh, revamped website. You can find it at bbtmpodcast.com or at bringbackthemagicpodcast.com.
Yes, and as a reminder, this program is is rated TV 14, so you younger viewers have your parents' permission before watching us goobers talk about Disney. Yes, I am super duper excited about you being back here because I, like everybody who follows our social media and has had the biggest FOMO while you were in Disney.
We read your blog.
Yes, I had to blog. That's so bad when I'm just so depressed. I'm going to make a blog. Have you ever been blogged? You're like, I'm just slugging through life, and now I'm going to have to write a blog because I have no outlet.
Dear diary.
Dear diary. I am happy you're back. I'm less happy about my ever disappearing jawline that apparently is happening. I'm like,
you lost your jawline. I gained a few chins.
Welcome to Snacks and Facts with Josh.
Dude, that would be a hit.
Where we eat and speak. Okay, all right. Snacks and Facts. Yeah, so you got to go away with family.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm super jealous, but I'm super happy for you too in a lying way that that you got to have that time because you got to stay at one of our favorite places. And tell me what you did while you were away. Like, this was more of a relaxing trip.
Yeah. This was very atypical of any Disney trip that we ever do because I was away with obviously our mom, my son, and then our sister Missy's family. And it was so nice because it was her 3 daughters and her husband. So the only thing missing was her son and his wife. But it was great. So basically we based the entire dates of the trip on when I could get good airfare because I was looking around Black Friday, traveled Tuesday, and I was like, it's because it's gotten crazy, guys. Airfare, I would be in Disney so much more, but flying $400 to get there per person is astronomical. Like, that's crazy to me.
It changed a lot too because I was always stacking up my Southwest reward points. And now with the new seat assignments and everything else, it's not like a normal fare. Like, everybody gets a chance to pick where they want to seat. Now even like an emergency exit row is considered a premium seat because it's got leg room. And you're like, okay. And that's at the upper echelon of where their choices are. So if you do it in points, it like wipes out stuff.
It's so disappointing. So we had so when I booked this was before seat assignments were going to be taking place because they're at the end of this month in January. So when I booked it, I was so grateful because I was like checking different dates. I knew that all we had was 3 nights booked at the Grand and we knew we planned on extending. So I was like, okay, where am I going to position our trip? Like, what were our limitations? So I just happened to find that if I went the 13th to the 22nd, so coming home the day that I'd planned, but, going earlier, which I knew I was going to do anyway, that I could get round trip flights for the same cost of the credits I had for when I canceled coming home in November and drove with you instead. So I was like, this is stellar. And also we've noticed because those were credits, I didn't have to pay for my luggage because it was from
a previous, that's
previous
awesome.
flight.
Well,
So I
that's the
didn't have to
thing
pay
is,
for
like,
luggage.
We're not here like touting back and forth like airline stuff and fees. You never know where it's going to end up. But the fact is, like, $35 a bag when you are a traveling family is meaningful dollars.
It
If
is.
you're by yourself, you might be like, okay, I got a good rate on a flight. But
Right.
you go back, you're like, I got to pay $35 for this bag and another X amount of dollars, maybe more.
Also,
for a
the
second
luggage,
bag.
£50 is not that much. I know it seems like it. No, they say that they're trying to save the backs of the people that are doing that. And I only think that's halfway true.
Yes, but here's what you got to think about. How does that affect me? Like, we're trying to save the backs. Listen,
Wait, so listen.
they're getting paid. I'm not.
So when I went to check in at the airport at BWI, all right, which by the way, I do enjoy BWI. That's always been our home airport, even though we live in Pennsylvania now, it's the closer airport, but it's so seamless there to me. Like getting in, I took your suggestion. It was an investment, but worth every penny that I parked at the hourly garage. Now that means it's $30 a day now for hourly, okay? But you got to remember, I'm traveling with my 9-year-old son and I'm traveling with our mom who turns 80 this year and has mobility issues. Getting on and off the shuttle is one of the most stressful things for me because with my neck issues, I have to load all 3 suitcases in by myself, plus help mom. It gives me anxiety thinking about it. So being able to park in the hourly and making that investment and saying, okay, maybe one less signature meal that we do this trip and just get out of the car and just roll our suitcases straight into the airport. No waiting, coming home even better because we're not waiting for a shuttle with all these people.
Weather's
It's covered.
another one.
We didn't have to worry that it snowed while we were gone. It was perfection. I 100%. Now it was so expensive. I was like, we were gone for 10 days. But what I was going to
spent a
say
few
is when we
$100.
went to check in at the airport, it was like, do you want to upgrade to Choice Extra or whatever the top one is
Choice preferred.
in Southwest right now? And the upgrade would have been $500 per person. And when I got on this plane, I go, what would you have gotten? It wasn't one of the planes that had like special seats or anything, or had like I was like, why would anyone do that? What was it for? What would you have gotten? I have no idea. So we did
I
end up
feel like
doing.
you feel pretty strongly about
I
this.
do.
I'm here for it.
No. So we did end up doing a wheelchair for mom, which was the right move because the guy at the ticket counter said, your gate is all the way down the other end. I'm just going to explain to you how far that's going to be a walk. So we did end up doing the wheelchair, which, gets you through security a little bit more seamlessly. They've changed security a little bit at BWI, which I still think is 1 billion times better than MCO. I don't know when MCO is going to get their act together with security, but to me, it's one of the most
It's
nightmare
weird because
TSA
security at
sections.
MCO feels like it's supposed to be
Chaos.
more high end. Like it's like, oh, here's your digital readouts for this.
No,
Just go here,
it's
go
pure
here.
chaos.
It's kind of like hot garbage because even with like I have Clear, I might not have Clear anymore because I don't think I paid the last bill. But whatever, things happen, guys. So even Clear, I ended up because I have TSA pre-checked already because I always go through, do my stuff, get my known transfer number, so I don't have to worry about things if somewhere that didn't have Clear. So the Clear line doesn't move. Like, and you're sitting there, we're gonna take you.
I saw.
wait for the TSA pre-check people, and they're like filtering you, and I go, I just went and pre-checked. Finished before like 20 people in Clear, and I go, what does this do? So it doesn't do anything.
Nothing,
other than
because
get you
where
past
I
the
was, where I got in line, it was a standard and Clear line. So they were alternating people from Clear. I go,
Yeah.
how is this saving anybody any trouble? But I will say that getting the wheelchair was helpful. But the thing that they've changed at BWI that's a little bit weird is now when you go to put your bag on the belt, it's not like you just lay your bag on the belt. They have like almost like a little cul-de-sac of bins already, like they're like bins. If there's not one there, you put a bin in and then you put your bag in it and then it goes around and the security guy kind of decides what order to put them on the belt. But it's weird because then
Besides, we're gonna rifle through this one. I saw
very
her put it in there.
strange.
She might have something.
It's
interesting.
weird. You don't take your shoes off anymore, which I do appreciate. Again, come with my mom and my son and all. But when we got to the end, you kind of waited a little longer, but it was still 1,000 times better than dealing with MCO. So anyway, so we got there the first night because we had some like little gaps. We knew we were doing another 3 nights at the Grand, but we had a gap the first night. So we ended up staying at Beach Club. And then the weekend, we ended up staying at the Wyndham down in the
I like
Hotel
the Wyndham. I
Plaza.
think that's a good one.
And
It's
it
very
actually worked
clean
out better
feeling.
because Missy's family they have blackout on the weekends because they have the local pass with the blackout on the weekend. So it actually ended up working out better that we were right by Disney Springs because that's where we were going to spend the weekend. So that actually ended up working out really great for us.
Nothing says Disney like annual local pass. So you can't go on the weekend and hang out with any of your family that visits.
So and then it turned out Monday was Martin Luther King Day, so they were blacked out. It was fine, no regrets. Because again, as you let in with, it was a different kind of trip. Thankfully, Mozzie, and again, it's because he's blessed to have been going to Disney since he was a baby. He's not the, oh my God, I got it. Oh my God, I got it. He's very much like we are. It's who you're with, not what you're doing. So when we went to Beach Club, we checked in, we went straight to the pool. And it was cooler weather while we were there was the one unfortunate part, but it was still nice enough to sit out there in our bathing suits. The kids were in the pool. And then I ended up saying, I'm going to go get in the hot tub. Like this pool, first of all, if you ever stay at Beach Club, everyone knows how much they love the pool there, right? Stormalong Bay. But I don't think enough people realize how stunning that pool is at night. I think a lot of people do it during the day, but nighttime, I mean, when we were there, it was almost empty, but it's lit up so beautifully in this icy blue lighting. And it's got like, hot tubs, and they had the whole pool to themselves. I wish it was a little bit warmer. So that was nice. And then we did a kitchen sink. Check it off our list. Kitchen sink. I feel like I had
entire can of whipped cream. An entire can
of whipped cream.
Oh my
Our
God.
server was phenomenal, by the way. I believe, oh God, did I write it down? I said I was going to give him a shout out on the podcast, and now I'm mad at myself because I said,
I'm sorry. We've run out of time.
You're going to have to wait. I think his name is Mike. He was amazing. I have to look it up. Now I'm so mad at myself. I wish I'd remembered that going into this episode, but stay tuned. Wonderful server. I will remember the next episode because I will look it up.
To be named later.
God, that's going to make me so mad. He was absolutely tremendous. And of course I was so mad because I did not have a coin on me. And I was like, dang it. I was annoyed at that, but he was great. So then we switched over to the Grand, and I will speed up so I'm not taking up the whole episode with myself. Stayed at the Grand for 3 nights, then went to the Wyndham for 2 nights, and then back to the Grand for 3 nights. But the point of the trip was family time, relaxation. We literally didn't go in with a single park reservation.
Good.
We were like, we're just going to see what's available, what we feel like doing. And there were a lot of good to go days in there. So that actually worked out for us.
I feel like if you are someone who goes to Disney a lot, you can take trips like that. Now, if you're somebody where Disney's an expensive trip. I mean, you're talking about many thousands of dollars to take like a family of 4 there. And if this is your one shot to do this, or you can only do it every X amount of years, you need to really plan out what you're going to do. And it's smart too. That's where your travel agent comes into play. That's where friends, people like us that do a podcast. It is fun as Gina goes.
My cup makes a little squeaky noise. Sorry.
Farting noises with her cup. But it's,
don't worry, podcast people, as I'm turning the cup. And
when you go through and you plan your trip, it's important if you've never been there or you haven't been there or never been there, like in a long time or whatever. You need those park reservations. That's all I'm saying, because you're going to miss a lot. You're not going to get to see things. You're going to have things you're like, oh, we didn't even know that existed. Have a plan going in. But if you can go there and just relax, it is I've been down there by myself. Right. And it's weird. It's jarring. Sometimes you feel like, I don't like this. Like you walk in, it's like the day after tomorrow, even though there's people there, and you're like, I feel really lonely.
Because I do think Disney is best enjoyed with people. Plenty of people have great solo trips.
You want to share it with somebody. And I told her, I was like, I miss my family. I miss my wife. I miss my daughter. I miss my sisters. I miss my friends.
Yeah.
It's weird walk there, especially with me at Epcot. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go grab a beer. And then I'm like, well, now I'm just a loser sitting on a bench drinking a beer. But I still love it. No. But I'm like, hey, man, want to be friends? But that's cool about Disney because I can talk up pretty much anybody. Right. Because obviously I can't shut up. But I feel like I do it in a somewhat charming way.
You do. We have a lot of friends that have done solo trips and rave about it. You've done plenty of solo trips. I think Brianna did a solo trip. I think it's awesome. For me, it's not that I can't do it. I just personally don't want to because I do love engaging with
someone. Sounds like somebody who can't do it.
I can't. I mean, I could.
Sounds like somebody
could,
can't do it.
But I do want to say that even
the rest of us.
Even being gone for 10 days, I'll tell you guys, and this is a whole nother podcast episode about the ideal length of a Disney stay and how long could you stay in Disney. And I always say 3 weeks and everyone thinks that's crazy.
1 month.
But even
they max out that with DVC.
If money did not present any kind of consideration, which it does, I would 100% be able to stay there for a month. And people are like, when'd you give? Because they're thinking of it as just going to the parks every day. Like there were days we didn't go to the parks at all. And I'm telling you, what we're going to talk about today with the Grand Floridian, that hotel, I could just stay at and just be at the hotel for an entire week and not get sick of it. Now that's a taste point for people. Not everybody is.
And that's why I wanted to get to, because we're going to go through before we get to our main topic. We've got a little something we like to call wet spaghetti.
Yeah.
Cook it up.
Yeah.
Gina.
Yes. First, let's remind everybody what spaghetti.
That's what I was going to say. Gina, let me remind everybody of what this segment is. Wet Spaghetti is where we throw things at the wall, see what sticks with ideas for Walt Disney World that we're pretty sure that if we say it enough, they may get off their keisters and make it for us. Maybe kind of like the Underworld, which has not happened. They've tried to kind of do a different version of this, and I'm not happy yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gina, what do you got as your hot spaghetti?
I heard that a giant corporation is going to sponsor our podcast so we won't be in the red all the time.
And thank you, everybody. Good night.
Now, I heard, I've alluded to this in the past, but I really want to put it out there again as a formal wet spaghetti because I am very, very into this idea. We have talked about what a waste of space Wonders of Life is. They made us that promise about the play pavilion. You have had a great idea about making it just an entire food court pavilion and things they can utilize. But I'm a firm believer that Disney should take Cranium Command Theater, revamp it, and with that same concept, turn it into an inside-out attraction. So I heard that the old Cranium Command Theater is under renovation and that they are turning it into, you are inside Riley's
You got it, Scuzzy.
You are inside Riley's head, and it's all the emotions, and they are taking you through a day as Riley and experiencing all the different inside-out emotions and the whole journey from the perspective of being inside the head. I think it would fit perfectly
That's a great
with
idea.
that movie.
I've heard that
So,
too. I heard that.
I heard it.
I know you've said it before, but I'm like, I definitely have heard that.
Wet spaghetti.
Now,
Spaghetti.
from my angle, this is weird because I didn't expect this out of Disney, but I heard that with the makings of Villains Land, okay, with the construction of it, they decided because they took out Pleasure Island before, and Disney is a family park, they said, let's make this a little more seedy. Okay, there's going to be parts of
Disney.
that's not Disney. This there's going to be parts of this where it's going to be more like Pleasure Island, starting with because they've decided to do something with Ursula in the underworld, right? Which is not my underworld, but Ursula's. So there is going to be a
My underworld. That sounds terrible. It's not my underworld. It's
so there
Ursula's
is going to
underworld.
be a venue in there that might be a little bit more risque called the Dirty Sea. With an all-female villains cast review, but a little
my
bit more
God.
adult leaning. So Disney, I don't know what you're thinking, but I've heard this. I've heard it.
You know what would be perfect for that? Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. There's Belle. All right.
It's Mulan.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Also, notice my flair.
I had no idea.
I also just want to say you and I actually are in this really vibey color scheme right now that goes with the studio colors, and I'm digging it.
I feel like I'm exactly in the
Like you, I mean, I hate your shirt, but for those listening on Spotify, it's Stitch. I also do just want to give a quick shout out though. I'm going to give some product placement here. These are not sponsors, but they are small shops that we promote and support. This is from Park Rebels. And this is my little Daisy boutique shirt, Daisy's Bow Shop. And we do have a promo code for that. So if you're going to go to our website, and we're going to have a space where you can see all of our promo codes. So I don't list them all on here, but it's BBT Magic Podcast, BR as in Park Rebels 15. Thank you. You can say 15%. But I also do, because we're talking about Grand Floridian, and this is something I'm excited about. Again, you know, we're not normally big product placement in the episodes, but I do love this stuff. Maddie on Main Street just came out with a DVC line. And we do have a code for that, 15% off, BBT Magic 15. But she's got this awesome spill-proof tumbler. It's 40 ounces, keeps everything cold, and it's got all 15
There's
resorts.
40 ounces. I'm going to put some OE in there.
Yes,
Maybe
and it's
some
got
Steel Reserve.
all,
I'm
it's
going to get
got
a Colt 45.
all 15 resorts on here. This is her hand drawings. I love it. It's got a nice little sanitary straw. Look at me, product placementing.
So,
Product placementing. Your dirty hands can still pick the straw up.
yeah, thank you, Billy Mays.
Check it out, Maddie on Main Street.
Check out ShamWow.
Yes.
And so, do you know what 40 ounces reminds me of?
40s?
No, just think about it back in the day. We used to do things we used to call threes, and we would drink in like a circle, like have a bunch of 40s.
It's where COVID probably started.
This is where, no, I'm pretty sure it was like HIV or something. But it was, I don't know.
For yourself.
I'm just kidding. We didn't get the hit there. So here's what we do. We just take around like everybody had. We just go three, right? It was 1, 2, 3, pass it. 1, 2, 3, pass it. I'm like, that's exact. Every time I can't help it. And that was like back in the
No, do you understand what he's saying? Mickey's Big Mouth,
You
which
just
was
do it
like
somewhere
a
going.
40.
So basically,
We would
everybody just drank
legit
the 40.
hold the 40. You drink it for 3 seconds and pass that same 40 to someone else in the room, and they would drink it for 3 seconds. And then our one friend who literally got down to the bottom, that was nothing but
No,
backwash.
it was like he grabbed
Like,
it.
I
He was like,
got it.
He wasn't part of it. He goes, give me that. And I'm like, it's just this thing
So
sloshes down. It's slow
gross,
ooze.
so
It wasn't, like beer
gross.
floats, right? This just went,
Can't handle this.
and I'm like,
Disgusting. Yeah.
what is wrong with you?
Yes. But
Yeah,
But no, we do promote Disney small shops. We're big fans of those.
absolutely. I love all
Obviously,
you guys.
speaking of a Disney small shop, though, Theme Park Chuckle, have you heard of them? I do want to say this real quick. I'm going to post it on our social. I got so many compliments on my Bye Felicia shirt because I wore it to ride Dinosaur last time while I was there. I rode it 2 times in a row and my neck held up. I was very proud of myself. But the cast members specifically, so I was letting them all know, really loved the shirt. That one is a hit. Theme Park Chuckle. Bye Felicia.
I love it. Bye, Felicia.
Felicia Rashad.
So our episode today,
Yes.
okay, as we've gotten through all of our stuff, 20 minutes in the episode, but you know what? There leaves us 40 minutes to unpack
Yeah.
one of our favorite places in Walt Disney World, which is the Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
Grand Floridian, okay, let's all think for a second. Grand Floridian. Just kidding.
But that's what I want to talk about is the
know.
misconception of that resort.
No, it's not. People, that's why I joke that way, because people have that misconception where they think, oh,
It's
this is just this
stuffy.
affluent, I'm better than you. And while that's true, we are better than you.
That's the only reason I go there. That's why
No.
it's like
I tease because it reminds me of
security. Please remove the peasants.
peasants. No, I'm just kidding. Do you remember the movie Dodgeball? Where it's like, at Globo Gym, we're better than you. And we know it. That is what I feel like somebody should parody. Somebody out there, Disney Sphere,
I'll
just
do it.
go out and
I'll
parody
do it with the
Globo
Grand
Gym. Yeah,
Floridian.
you do it on a reel or something. We're
No.
better than you. And we know it. Now,
funny.
it is such a gorgeous resort. It is
Flawless.
meticulously maintained. The renovation, I'm so happy it's coming to its end on certain things, that things are opening up. You got to see things firsthand. I'm really jealous of the fact you guys got to sit at the perch thing, which I was for and against at one point, but I think the way
They did it
you told
perfect.
me was really kind of a smart way of doing things.
It's
I love the Enchanted Rose because it feels like when you're there, I like cocktails, and it's not everything's about cocktails. And I'll be honest with you, full disclosure, I barely drink. I don't drink during the year, unless I'm on vacation. It'll be like it's always a function. It's not like, hey, we're going out Friday for drinks. That's not me. But when I am, I do enjoy the atmosphere it puts me in. So if I'm at Enchanted Rose,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I've got an old fashioned, they have great seasonal ones, but I have an old fashioned drink in that little atmosphere and everybody's so nice. It's inviting, it's warm, intimate. I love that. And they got the little lounge area kind of thing off that.
Mhm.
That stuff is great. Now I can imagine with the perch, especially if you got there a little early, in certain regards, or I don't know what time, you can tell me all the times it's open. But if you have a little time to kill and you just want to go over and see a hotel and say, let's grab a drink, and you're in the lobby, you can just grab something simple, sit at one of the chairs. Maybe the piano player's playing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think the idea, what they did that was so smart, because there were so many people that were skeptical about a bar coming in there and disrupting what the lobby
Who are these
feels
people?
like. But it really did give exactly what you wanted there, which was if I am sitting in the lobby, because there are a lot of people I think that stay at the Grand, and I'm one of them, that when you're waiting for, the last day, waiting for your ride or killing time, you do that in the lobby.
do.
You do that
Just
in
said
the
doo-doo.
You do that in the lobby because the atmosphere is just so beautiful. You know, in Last Holiday, when she says at the Grand Hotel, poop, do you ever just look at that ceiling and cry? Does it make you want to cry? That's how I feel about the Grand Floridian. I love looking up at the beautiful ceiling. I love the lights.
But I get that same feeling when I look at my credit card bill. It's like, don't you just look after a Disney vacation?
So
You just
I
wanna cry.
believe that
Worth
the
it.
perch, I think the perch opens at either 12 or 1.
Which is
But it's
perfect.
only open till 9. And that's also perfect.
That's
now they
perfect.
have
Fine.
extended the
Check-in
hours, and
time.
Enchanted Rose now opens earlier. That opens at 11.
Oh, that does?
Yes, and they're open
It's
till 11.
4 or something.
Yeah, and now they're open till 11, which I think that was their time. But when you're in the lobby, there's servers that walk around very softly and casual. There's no pressure if you're sitting there just hanging out in the lobby. You're still allowed to do that. It's not like, hey, you have to have a drink or something. There's a couple tables. There's a lot of couches. I will tell you, I discovered there are chargers.
Hey, you riffraff. We know you're not staying here.
There
For the
are
paying people.
chargers in the bottom of the sofas that are against the walls. I realized, I was like, I see this couch looks like it's plugged
What did
in.
you say about before with women, as their best advertisers, obviously, because they'll tell you where they got something, how much they paid, and if it has pockets.
Yes.
Now the new thing is we'll tell you where to stay and where to sit and if it has a charger.
Yeah. That's valuable information to me because the bar has very obviously charged. Now, so the way the bar works is there's bar seats and then there's a walk-up section. So if you are,
So you're
that's
not
where
getting
you
somebody
walk up.
leaning over you.
So now to tell you that the menu is beer, wine, champagne, and 2
Special.
signature cocktails.
That's perfect.
The end. They do not even have a soda gun, he told me. They don't even offer that.
Soda's bad.
It's so perfect. And I will tell you, the drink I love is the Floridian 75, which is kind of like a French 75.
I drank 400
I did. It tastes like, it tastes very similar to like a mimosa kind of, but it's obviously not different ingredients, but it's give that kind of citrusy vibe. I loved it. It was great. And they have the coffee rum Sazerac. The servers couldn't have been
It's
nicer.
like a mimosa, but what they do is they use champagne and then expired orange juice. So
Ew, that's disgusting. Who puts orange juice in their mimosa?
yeah, I know.
You just wave the bottle.
It's
over
just for
top.
color, really. It's just like that. You're like,
it's just a
you bless it. You're like,
But what I do want to say is, I think so many people have an idea about the Grand Floridian. They come in thinking, "Oh my God, this is so stuffy."
intimidating.
It's not. There's nobody there treating you that way. That there may be people there staying that way, but they would probably be that way no matter where they stay or no matter where they go. You can't blame the hotel for that. The hotel is so approachable. It is stunning. It is kept well. I don't want to see anybody coming in there and littering I will say though, in the lobby level, it was very hard to find a trash can. Like Mozzie wanted to throw away his Kleenex and he had to keep going to the bathroom because we could not find a trash can. I was like, well, that's wild. The new reception area looks really nice to check in.
I saw part of that, I think, is
very pretty. The murals, the carpets, everything looks gorgeous. So for me, I don't feel like I have to be dressed up to be in the Grand Floridian lobby. I can be sitting there. The day I left, I was in a sweatshirt and jeans.
About people walking around a 5-star resort basically with robes on.
They still do. I don't feel awkward doing that. I think it is elegant, but I wouldn't call it stuffy. Every single person that works there has been nice. When I would
Hot take. I feel like the yacht club is more stuffy than the
I wouldn't disagree with that.
than Grand Floridian.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
I feel like that vibe over there where you're like, yes, okay, I'm off my boat out for the winter. No, I gotta go winterize.
But everyone at the Grand Floridian, all the servers that we had at the Perch, we had Jorge and Felix and Stephanie.
Oh, you remember their names, but poor guy
I know, I'm so mad. That was the very
Beaches
first
and
day of my
Cream.
trip. It was the very first day. I'm so mad at myself. I will.
Gina had so much ice cream she forgot.
I know.
But she
I'm
didn't
so
forget
mad.
that entire
Travel
can
day.
of whipped cream.
I'm not even a big ice cream person, but I was excited when I discovered mint chocolate chip was in there.
By the way, if I ate the kitchen sink, that would have
You'd
been my
be in the
next drink.
bathroom toilet.
Like, hey,
I'd be lucky if I made it.
on the toilet.
I'd be lucky if I made it to the bathroom sink. It's coming out like lava. Okay, so, but what I do want to say is,
Lactose aside.
even when we went up to the Rose, everyone was insanely kind there. The one girl saw.
Hold on. Time out. Back up here. Is there now lingo? If
I
we
knew
went up
you were gonna
to
say
the
that. I knew
'cause
it.
It comes off that way. It's like we go to
Good.
the rose. I'm like,
Good.
oh no, I keep calling it the enchanted rose.
Security.
When we go to the ER, you know, what? I'm not hurt. I'm going to.
No, but I
Enchanted
did
Rose.
say if you need me, I'll be perched in this lobby all day. So anyway,
I'm not feeling good. I need to go to the ER.
so anyway, peasant. When I was at the
Have a
Rose,
session.
no, but the girl who seated us was so nice because she heard me say, "I'm trying to text my sister, but my phone's on 1%," and she's like, "I can sit you somewhere where there's like a charger in the wall behind you." So I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then we were leaving. She goes, "Make sure you got your charger." I was like, "I did." So she was very sweet. Everyone there, very, very, very sweet. I love that vibe so much. I also love that in the Enchanted Rose, there's different rooms. So if you are maybe in a group, they may seat you in a room where it's kind of like you can make a little bit more noise if you're laughing. And then they're kind of like in the bar. I feel like that's a little quieter. And then the offside where I know they have room for if people do bring strollers. My least favorite is the terrace. If you're going out there and you want to see the fireworks, maybe, but it doesn't feel like you're at the Enchanted Rose. Like that's not my vibe. That's like at least
I've been there too, like since they've reopened it and done it a little bit different as Narcoossee's. And Narcoossee's, to be perfectly honest, just straightforward with it, I'm like went downhill for years because it used to be like a premier place you go and eat and it was always solid. I went the last 2 times before they revamped. I did not like my food. It was not good. I had like a
Right.
taste to certain things. And I'm like, this is not what I'm used to. And it was really kind of just mailed in.
Yeah.
And it used to be like not you have to be upscale, it's got to be solid. Like it's got like
Right.
presentations, everything, you know, like the way something tastes obviously is the most important. But I only went back like one time since it's reopened. And I think I had like the martini or something you were talking about. It's like just some dessert martini, like I don't know, like what do they call them?
That was the
espresso martini, but
right, but it was the salted caramel.
it was like something which I didn't think was great.
I didn't.
I don't think it was raved about. But you said the dinner was really good.
Yeah.
You said that was solid. So I'm looking forward to going back to that.
You came down that night to bring me a coin. Remember?
Yes,
because I wrote you and you were staying there too, and you
staying there, and I came down to give you a coin because something
our server was great,
worth walking for. But
I ate there this time,
and we'll get to that. You just quiet it down for a second, lady. Just kidding. I let you go through your monologue. You now know everything.
Sorry once again for agreeing or dropping in to add to what you
I don't like people agreeing with me. I like fights. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But Citrico's, again, one of our favorite places there. Obviously, Victoria and Albert's and all. And we'll get to those kind of things too, unpacking them a bit. But I had another point to say, which was the people that do go into Grand Floridian that have that air about them, like the people that book that because they've never been to Disney World before, and this is like, oh, if we're not staying here, we might be staying over at Four Seasons. It might be somebody like that, which is astronomical. Like no matter how you cut it, I mean, the rooms there are $1,200 a night to start most of the time, and they're like, okay, well, we're doing this and this, and here's our concierge person, here's all this stuff, and you're like, you just kind of want to knock them down a peg or two. Be like, listen, you're a little high up here for me right now. Listen, this place was started by a mouse. Okay, so you know better than anybody else. We're all breathing the same air. And because we know a lot of people that are very affluent. We know people that have just ridiculous amounts of money and all this stuff, but they're regular people like everybody else. And that's the kind of people I love. And I feel like Grand Floridian actually nurtures those kind of people because they like to have fun. They like to be in a place that makes them happy. That's what I'm getting at. I know it sounds weird the way I'm talking about it, but I love the fact that all walks of life, and I feel like Grand Floridian's not non-approachable, even if you're somebody that's coming in there and visiting from a budget resort or off property because they can't afford to stay there, but get to see the beauty and the grandeur of it and partake of certain things and say, oh, we can go up and sit at the perch. Yeah. We don't have to spend a lot of money to stay here. We can go out. Only thing you're not gonna be able to do is go in the pools and everything else like that. But you can walk around the resort. You can go out. You can have a drink somewhere. You can grab a snack somewhere. You can go in Gasparilla. You can do those kind of things, and that's fine.
I think the one thing that I noticed this trip, it says mobile order for Gasparilla is only for hotel guests. So that's one thing.
I think they want to prioritize,
right?
So
which makes
we're going over there. Let's get our
which
order.
I do think is like a nice little perk.
They should also put in there mobile order will take 6 to 8 weeks because there's one place like I forget where I was that just I think they forgot about me. I came up, they're like, oh yeah, I was coming right up, and I see her go.
But I will say twice now at Gasparilla. Remember the one time we were there with Caitlin and them, and they gave us a free cupcake because our food took longer, remember?
So over there.
Well, this time I went down. I was there like 5 or 10 minutes early because it said like my time.
If you're getting a free cupcake.
So I just stood there. I didn't say anything. The girl's like, oh, can I ask you what you're waiting on? I was like, oh, mobile order for change. She goes, okay, I'll go check. I go, I'm early. Like I let her know. I go, I'm early. And then she came back and she's like, I'm so sorry for the wait because it was like 5 minutes. They brought my food. I'm so sorry for the wait. And when I got back, there was 3 cookies in my bag. And I was like, additionally, not instead. But I was like, that's so nice, these people, because that's the thing. There's a level of service, the magic in the cookies. But that's so nice. You know what I mean? But I will say what Grand Floridian, that's a good point, Josh, is that it is accessible. They don't say like, oh, you got to show your key to get in here or anything. But there is, you got to remember at the Grand Floridian, you've got 1900 Park Fair. You've got the Grand Floridian Cafe, you have Citrico's, you have Victoria and Albert's, you have Gasparilla, you have Narcoossee's. And then bars, there is a bar at Citrico's, you have the Perch and the Enchanted Rose, and there's a bar at Narcoossee's. So there is a lot there, plus the pool bar. So there is a lot available there, which is nice because when you're staying there, it's a large resort, obviously, but it's not like the size of Saratoga or anything like that. Right. So you do have a lot at your fingertips. And I just love walking around there. Like even when I left the Villas building to go get Mozzie dinner at Gasparilla, I just love walking around that resort. That's when I just realized that I could see in the windows of the tea room and gave myself.
Like, we got a behind the scene look.
I know. Do you like how my video said?
Source on the street.
Last night I gave myself a sneak peek, and then what happened? All of a sudden it was all over the place, and they're like, "Oh, time to release it." Gina let it out. All of her followers saw it. Just kidding.
Both of them.
Right, both of them. They both liked it.
They have traction.
Yes, they did. They did. But I do just love walking around that resort.
Well, it's also like we were talking about,
so
accessibility.
Yeah.
And thing is, like, parking is always an issue, resort to resort, because they're like, okay, here, check in with the gate. Like, are you here for reservation? Is this? And parking is going to be a concern. But the good thing about any of the monorail resorts is the fact you can park at TTC and say, I'm going to go take the resort monorail, go over to any of them.
Yeah.
And then you get off the monorail, you can go back and take it. And that's an easy way in. And especially if you're going to Polynesian, oh my goodness, park at the TTC, you walk right into Polynesian. And you could walk to any of them, to be honest with you, because everything connects now. Like, it all connects through it.
Right.
And it's for me, like we used to do, like when things were like delayed or something, like, oh, we'll just go off and get off at TTC or take a bus over to this and be like, all right, here we go. We'll just go and walk into like Polynesian. But I always thought like the convenience of that's great.
Yeah.
Because
fun fact, the valet lot at Grand Floridian, I don't know if this is true anywhere else, their like arm that comes down glows like a bright red, like a lightsaber at night. So shout out, Sarah and I were calling it the Kylo Ren parking lot. We're like, oh, can't get access to the Kylo Ren parking lot. Yes. But I will say, it's just, there's something about the whole vibe there, I think, feels serene because there's not many, I'm not saying there's no other resorts, but this one just particularly, and maybe because people do feel the need to carry a certain calm and elegance about them. I don't know. I'm not putting that out there like you have to come in and act a certain way, but I would like to think people don't come into the Grand Floridian and decide this is where they're going to get loud and rowdy.
Something that's not celebrated as much as it should be, but actually has a lot of opportunity is the fact that the photo ops at Grand Floridian, they do have something they knew they had on the second floor when Peyton and I did with like the
shoe,
the slipper,
yeah.
Else.
They still have
They
that.
also have just so many things, the staircase, the balconies, like
Gorgeous
you, Missy, and your ridiculously big hats.
Yeah.
On the one thing across the way, you're like, this is so pretty because you could do things like, if you're a photographer, especially, you can go say, like, line up a family around here, take a picture because you don't have to worry about people walking in front of it.
Yeah.
You can be like, okay, across the way, zoom in and have everybody lined across like the balcony. And obviously be careful, you know, me, people next to balconies. But you have this beautiful backdrops. I do miss the band that was on the second
Same.
floor.
That's the one thing I do wish they still would find a way to bring back.
I think they will. If not, they'll put like a small piece little thing into the
because it's
lobby.
a hard volume to control now. They've got things that's like a
think they'll
band.
probably do more of a small little jazz thing in the lobby.
The piano player still being there is so lovely.
Oh,
and
back to Full House when Jesse and Beckett, you know, he's just sitting there playing and she's just putty in his hands.
I know, even with the clear sign on that piano that says "Don't play it."
Yeah, and then he was summarily banned from Disney until, you know,
forever.
Yeah, and it's so good. Or until the Beach Boys come and play whatever.
So what I was going to say, though, you're right. And there's so many places you can find to take pictures at Grand Floridian where there's like nobody around. Yeah. Like, granted, we don't go during the heavy season, but I think there's just such a walkability about it. Now, there's not like a walking track at Grand Floridian. No, there's not a walking track at Grand Floridian like some of these resorts have. Like, obviously, there's a track around Polynesian. But if you like to just walk and take nice walks, there's a lot of space that you can just go around and get your steps in that way. And just in a really comfortable, relaxed pace. I think when you stay there, lean into the vibe of like, I deserve this. That's why I kept joking. We actually, you know, we did this trip that I never do on a Disney trip, room service. Because we had the villa and we were like, you know what? It's later. Let's just order room service.
Did you get a large cheese pizza just for yourself?
No. Well, first of all, Mozzie's not used to room service because we don't ever do that anywhere. Like back in the day when we'd go with Daddy, we'd always get room service places, but we don't do room service often because we'd go play, especially in Disney.
I would just marvel at the things they give you extra and you're like.
So Mozzie, the server comes in and he puts down like a tablecloth on the table. And Mozzie goes, what is this? What is this? Some kind of 5-star meal? What? And he'd like literally gotten a little salmon or something like that. But it was salmon. It was so nice. And he came and set it up. And the guy was just lovely. And Mozzie just thought that was the coolest thing. We did room service twice. And the burger was phenomenal that I got from there, by the way. And I think it might be the same burger that's a Grand Floridian Cafe that Brad had told me that he loved so much. And I got that the day I left. And chef's kiss, that might be my favorite burger on Disney property.
There's a couple that I've seen that people have put out that I'm like,
really good. I know people talk about, I think Mark likes the one at Grand Destino Tower. I think there's a burger there that people talk about. And then obviously there's people say at Wailulu, which I'm now going to call Waigogo because I don't get it at this point. Twice now we've had bad service.
And not that we're going to get into all that, but the fact is, it does bear repeating. We want to be happy about places we go. We're not aiming for like, oh my God, this is not this. We're not looking for that. We're looking for like, here's the baseline. Shout out baseline. Here's the baseline of service where it just says you go somewhere, somebody comes and takes your order, and you're like, thank you, I'll be right back. That's it.
That's all.
You don't have
That's
to
all we
do
need.
any better or worse than that. You don't have to do any better than that.
Even
You do worse than
Walmart
that,
greets
yeah.
me when I walk in,
Yeah.
okay? Like somebody's sitting there for 20 minutes and nobody has come over. The guy chucks the menus at you. I'm not here for that. Now
Do what I do. Chuck him back. Like,
we
sorry,
are
let's
talking
read it.
about, his name was Justin. We're talking.
Justin was his name. Justin, if you're
We're
watching.
talking about Grand Floridian though, and the exceptional
Justin,
service there, the kind people that we have encountered there. Everyone has been nothing but a delight. But what I was saying is lean into, not in a snobby way. Like Josh and I don't get down with that. So I say another reason why I love my family, because we would call each other out if any of us even leave.
Sharon's
Like,
caring. Put it that way.
but lean into you deserve it. If you've spent the money or you've spent the points, and side note, we all talked about this. People who spend points there should get the same treatment as people who spend cash, because I find myself going, if I'd paid cash for this room, but at the end of the day, it's still a room you paid for in one way or another, because there were a couple little like room hiccups in our second room, which was one, the doors open to the bed and you couldn't open them.
Yeah.
Like you're like, this hotel's not that young. So how many people have seen this and done nothing about it? That was interesting, but didn't spoil our trip in any way. But I felt bad for the girls because that was their room. So when they wanted to go out on the balcony, they had to go for the other access point to it. But lean into the fact that you deserve it. Enjoy it. Don't get snotty and arrogant and entitled about it, but lean into like, this is nice. Like when people say to us, oh, going to Disney again, that must be nice. What do I always say? It is. Thank you. It is. Thank you. Because don't make me feel like I don't deserve
You know
what
I'm
I
gonna do for you. You know what I'm going to do? What's your address? I'm going to send you a postcard from Main Street. That's what you get.
Oh, you know what? I think the band is starting. It's a tiny little violin. It's a tiny violin playing just for
It's
you.
a teeny tiny.
But what I do want to talk about is the tea room. Okay, so we've talked about the perch. The perch was well done. And even my friend Anna Enchanted, who I got to meet on this trip in person, she was a big proponent of, I'm worried about the perch. It's going to ruin the lobby. A lot of people were ruined. It did not. Everyone, I think, really did appreciate.
I love the aesthetic because they took the time to not just make this a normal lobby bar, the shape of the bar, the treatments to it, light fixtures, everything else, the style, paint.
I actually like that it's the dark wood, because originally I was like, why aren't they doing it white to match everything else? But it actually looks better in the dark.
Keep painting it and paint like they do everything else.
It looks better this way.
When you have the
more
wood,
elegant.
you just go and kind of clean it and do all that stuff. But I love that. It's an elegance to it, but it has that bird cage look to it.
10 out of 10.
Beautiful.
I firmly think it was the right move. It's, again, we were there during a low season time, but I really feel like what they've done, there's only so many bar seats. You can't crowd around the bar. There's only so many lobby seats, so they're not going to get some bum rush of people
what they
in
should
there.
do is add a little bit more seating to it, but put it around the corner from the perch where you can't see the perch, and just call it, Beacon Barrel number 2. So here's
The backside of the perch is very pretty,
all
though.
the
The
drinks and prices of this, and be like, but you can see none of the fun.
Yes. And they were able to fit the Christmas tree in the lobby, even with the perch. The question will just be what happens with the gingerbread house, but there's other places they could put it, or we'll see. But what I want to say about the tea room, so you remember back to the beginning of this show last year, we started, and I was constantly talking. Bring back the tea, how much I wanted the Grand Floridian tea back, how desperately I wanted it. I will continually give myself credit.
Went from BBTM to BBTT. Bring back the tea.
So the tea is back, and it is opening March 19th. Reservations start February 19th. I got to see it. And the last day we were there, the drapes were all down, so you could really see it was just little velvet ropes.
Yeah.
It's very much in alignment with the rest of the styling of the hotel, light, bright colors, like whites and lights, like a sage green essence, not cram tables. It's still got a lot of space, so it's not giving you that tight cramp. Let's fit as many tables in here as we can. It's much more spaced out, so it keeps also the volume down. Here's my thing. Okay, prices were released the other day, and people said, you're not going to like it. This is exactly the price I thought it should be. We know Cake Bake's tea is like $100 a person, right?
Yeah.
And again, mind you, nothing against Cake Bake, but that's not all they do there. They have a handful of tables they do tea, and it's not all they do. They do other things there. The tea, this is all they do. This will be their specialty. This is their niche.
Their specialty.
Specialty, good one. So
specialties.
The tea will be $79 plus tax and gratuity for adults and $49 for kids. I think that's on point. People are like, oh, well, it was this the last time. Yeah, that was freaking 6 years ago that it was open. That's why that's called inflation. What was your annual pass that many years? A Mickey pretzel's $9 now, for God's sake.
The water is at like $4 or $5 is what gets me.
But here's the thing I'm going to say that may be a hot take. 2 things. 1, since it's an Alice in Wonderland theme, I really hope they don't bring characters in for these reasons. 1, that's not elegant. I love the characters. I love Alice, but them at the tea doesn't make for a formal high tea, okay? 2, that room has no doors. So if you're sitting at the perch and you're looking for an elegant and there's a character
There's gonna
meal
be
that
some
always
looky-loo
is going
stuff.
to increase volume of the atmosphere. That's why 1900 Park Fair is where it is. Park Fair is where it is. It's just, I don't want to see characters there. If they decide to do a photo op somewhere, I don't know where they'd fit it. But if they decide to do a photo op, that's fine. But overall, I don't want it to be a character tea. I do think it's great they went with Alice in Wonderland because it fits with the vibe of the Grand, but also everywhere. I said this on a previous episode. Everywhere does does a Alice in Wonderland tea. Why doesn't Disney do an Alice in Wonderland tea? But this is my other take.
I would think that I'd go back.
Characters will bring something else I don't want there. Lots of kids. No, I take my son.
That's just it. Gina says Disney would be a lot better if one for all these blasted kids.
No, what I'm saying is that I have no problem with kids being at a tea.
Scooby Doo villain. I'm gonna got away with it. What were you meddling kids?
Oh, that shot of my double chin was good. Let me tell you, this around my neck. Anyway,
Did you stop it too? Okay, guys.
you're a douche.
Look at me. I look like a
God.
swollen tick.
Look at my button. Anyway, but what I was going to say is that it's not that I don't think kids should come. I am bringing kids. I said kids. I am bringing my son. I love bringing my son to tea. He's used to it. There's a difference, and I'm not saying they have to sit there and be like, Stepford kids.
Gina gives her son Benadryl, and
That's not
I'm just
true.
kidding.
Stop
Says,
it.
Sit there.
My son is well behaved. He's good about it. But when you have characters, that's a different vibe and energy you're creating with kids.
Well,
It's the loud, it's this
the people
excitement.
that are outside,
And
going,
that's why I'm
"Ooh, let me
glad it
look
is
through
$50 for kids because,
Yeah.
again, nothing wrong with bringing your kids.
You
but
make
if
it worth it.
People are coming for an elegant, and I'm not saying stuffy, I'm not saying this is Victoria and Albert's, but you got to remember, this is the hotel where it is. You're not looking to have some kind of, that's where 1900 Park Fair is for. Have the loud in
old
there.
saying is treat yourself, right?
Right.
You're on vacation. None of us in our right mind during the year, okay, just because we're going to go out and spend the amounts on dinner we do in Disney. But we do it in Disney because we are in Disney.
Right.
So there's certain splurges. The same goes to the people that come in for Disney for a day. And they're like, oh, here's what our park tickets. And I'm like, I looked at these costs and I'm like, you paid $200 some dollars per person
It's crazy.
for one park. And you're like, oh my goodness. And then we did this. I'm like, you realize if you worked with a travel agent or you found the right way to do this with ticketing and everything else, you could have stayed here 5 days
Right.
and had that same experience.
Let's also talk about kids 3 to 9. And I think they do it that way because they know people are going to lie. They're like, okay, well, once my kid is 10, I'm going to say he's 9. I think that's why they do it.
Trust me,
Same with
as soon as
3.
I turn 3, I might not get the discount side.
But they know that when your kid's 3, you're going to lie and say they're 2. So I feel like they buffered that way. But the idea that Mozzie turns 10 in December and he'll be on the adult menu. So that means that he's going to be paying, $30 more to go to tea.
You make him pay?
That's crazy. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
So
You
we and
shouldn't make
Danny
your
have said
son
there
pay.
should be some kind of like tween. I know it's hard to regulate, but some kind of tween zone where like a 10-year-old is not eating the same thing as a 16-year-old and definitely not the same as a 48-year-old. So that is kind of tough. But I do think with the tea that those are my things about it. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to do it. I miss back in the day when it was kind of the best kept secret and people didn't even really realize there was a tea there back when they first kind of launched it. It was a very not casual in vibe, but it was very unspoken. Like you can have tea here.
I'm excited for you for when it comes back and you get your first opportunity to go there.
Opportunity.
I hope- Tea. Very well. You're on today.
You did the last
You're on
one.
fire.
You did the
You're
last
on
one. You
fire,
said
but you're
special
on.
tea.
Like this stuff you dropped Jesse forever. I was like, my goodness. But I can't wait until you go. I hope they give you a table by the window because it'll be gorgeous outside. Also hope because I will walk by with my shirt open like this every so often just to make your tea a little more special.
And I'm not saying don't bring your kids. I'm just saying
I'll walk by with
I
a
just
big
hope
sign
that-
that says no kids.
yes. I go plenty of places in Disney where people have children that are not well behaved. Just
Children
for
of the
me,
corn.
selfishly, I just don't want to see characters because that will make people think it is a kid's thing. That's what I'm really trying to say. Tea is something that kids can go to, kind of like California Grill, something kids can go to, obviously, Citrico's, but it's not a kid's thing.
Yeah.
And if you put characters, people will think, oh, it's a kid's tea.
That's what Park
it's a
Fair,
kid's thing.
you
And
got
that's
Park
not
Fair
what
and
I'm
all those
looking
kind of
for.
things,
That's
'cause you
just
go
my
through and say, okay, we take them there for like a character breakfast kind of
Right.
deal. That's
Yeah.
why Chef Mickey's, nobody's gonna be like, oh, all these kids here. I'm like, yeah, it's Chef Mickey's.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do this stuff. I actually really do love over at Beach Club. I love the Cape May. I love going there for like the character breakfast.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, ooh, an exotic.
Exotic
Shout
New
out, Brad.
Jersey.
Shout out, Brad.
Exotic New Jersey.
But that's all an inside joke.
Yes.
But I like when there is things that can feel a little bit more like you are spoiling yourself a little bit, but I mean, the cost, yeah, it's expensive, but when compared to everything else in Disney, are we really splitting hairs? Everything you do is expensive. If you go to walk-ups now, I mean, you go and you order a meal for each person.
Yeah.
At a walk-up, you're going to spend like dang near like $70 to $100 for like your family to eat there, and you're like, wow, this is just
That's
like
what it's like at
chicken
McDonald's
tenders.
now. If you don't
But
use the app for McDonald's, you can easily spend $20, $30 for 2 people to eat at
Yeah, and I go
McDonald's.
through, I'm like, but you can do things more cheap on the other ends. But you're like, you can get $6 value meals for everybody. Okay, now I'm in $24 to $24, $25 for a family of 4.
Speaking of which, I might have to go to Taco Bell for their new $3 and under day lunch.
Shout out Taco Bell if you're looking for
You
like
should
podcasts
sponsor us, Taco Bell.
to sponsor. No, we were talking about before about podcast things. Everybody's like, oh, you're doing your podcast. How's it been? When people ask you about like revenue, money, and stuff, like, listen, I'm NAST.
Favorite
A
color's
lot of
red.
debt. I go,
My
"We're just as-
favorite color's red. Support us.
But it's fine.
You
'Cause it's
too
not
can
the
support
purpose.
us.
It's not the purpose. I said it.
I mean, it'd be nice.
but it'd be wonderful.
Breaking even would be great. Our time will come. Our time will come.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we do this because we love it. And that's
We
the
do.
thing.
We
That's,
do.
yes, but please send us money.
The
And I'll
fact that
give you the
anyone
podcast
listens
address.
is a
Just kidding.
surprise in itself.
Send us envelopes of cash, care of the big Bring Back the Magic podcast, and send that
Support
to
us.
Loganville,
Support us.
Pennsylvania.
Thank you. But as I know, we could talk about the Grand Floridian all day. I just feel like people need to
We're
understand.
just going to talk about it for the next few minutes.
The location is prime. Obviously, the next stop off the monorail is Magic Kingdom. So that is
That's the
a
other thing. and having
prime
the option
location.
to walk to Magic
Now you
Kingdom.
can walk. You also can walk from the Grand to the Polynesian. So if you want to go enjoy that, and then from the Polynesian, like if you're in a walking mode, you can walk the other way and get on the.
It's a
for
really
the-
great thing to do, especially if you're kind of snacking or drinking around the parks. You kind of get that time to burn off some stuff, you know.
'Cause I'm trying to think distance wise, because it is a walk. It is a walk.
When Magic Kingdom lets out at night, when you get on the monorail to go back to Grand Floridian, you could take the boat and all that's sometimes a wait as well, depending what's going on. There's a lot of time in there. You could just walk right to Grand Floridian because remember, you got to take the monorail around the entire thing. You got to at least stop at Contemporary.
I would like to do that next time I stay. Is walk back. I wasn't even at Magic Kingdom like in the evening, but I would wager. I'm trying to think distance wise because it is a hike, but it's a nice path that they built. It's very smart. They did that. But if you walked from the Grand Floridian to the Poly, it's not a far walk. And then from the Poly to the TTC. So then if you don't want to have to switch monorails, you can get on the Epcot monorail right there, you know, because you can get that. So that saves you having to transfer monorails also, which is sometimes
depends
nice
where
if
you're
you've
at
got
on the thing,
strollers, if you've
because
got wheelchairs,
If you
all those
feel
things.
like- yeah, because you'd have 2 stops on the monorail to get to TTC.
Sometimes it's just the ramps.
That's
When
what I'm
we've
saying,
got
like,
mom
you
with
go
us,
up and down and all that
it's
stuff. I get what
getting
you're saying.
on, yeah. And then it's like to
I'm
get
in
off,
violent agreement with
right,
you,
to
yes.
go down, get all the way up the ramp.
But it's
Somebody, if she is in a
But you might
wheelchair,
actually
God bless
beat it in
Missy
time
pushing her
depending
up.
on who you are, and if you got a little hover around or something like that, and you want to go through, you can get to these places, but you'd have to
Yeah.
go through. 2
So there's
monorail
options.
stops.
There's options is the idea. Like there's definitely options.
And the other thing is like I'm forward kind of against the fact with the monorail security. It's nice when you're on the monorail knowing you can get into Magic Kingdom or anything else without having to go through security again, because you get off the monorail. 'Cause when you get on, you have to go through the metal detectors and all, and they know that you're not carrying anything or whatever. Sometimes it's a pain when you're like in a rush trying to grab the monorail and you're like, oh crap, now I gotta do this, especially when you have a lot of camera
Right,
equipment like I
right,
tend to do.
right.
And I never use it. Like I'll have things 8,000 pound bag and like, oh,
Yeah.
here, and I'll take out my phone. Click. I'm like,
I think it's always so weird that eyeglass cases set it off. Something else to keep in mind when we talk about when someone says the room doesn't matter, I stay value because the park is what matters. That is your choice. That is the way
that's
you
your style of
design.
trip.
That is the way you design your vacation. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody
It's
force you to
100%
say.
accurate too when it comes to the fact if you're going to explore all of Walt Disney World, the room itself, you probably won't be staying in there. So if it's a big cost, you can't afford it.
Yeah, if you are rope dropped to park closed,
Yeah.
it won't matter. If you're somebody who wants to experience a different kind of Disney, the kind of Disney that when people hear us say, you guys are
A
going to
resort
Disney as an
Disney.
adult trip, or
It's a
you guys are going.
resort stay.
Yes,
That's-
when you decide to do that, the room can make a big difference. But keep in mind what you're paying for in a deluxe resort. There's things that you don't even think about. Proximity, obviously. From Grand Floridian, we just talked about the proximity to Magic Kingdom, the ease of not having to take a bus to Epcot and being able to utilize the monorail, which in itself is a ride. Kids really do love the monorail. I still love the monorail. It's a magic of riding on the monorail. I love it. You also got to think when you stay on the monorail loop,
Mono
the
meeting one and
access you have to other things. If you were staying at the Grand Floridian and you want to do dinner at Cinderella's castle, and not make a full park day, it's an easy little jaunt over on the monorail. If you want access to all of, let's talk about contemporaries restaurants, right? Because you've got California Grill, Steakhouse 71 in there. Then you've got Polynesians restaurants. You've got Ohana, and you've got Waigogo. You've got Wailulu. Like, you've got access so easily. It's not, let's take an Uber, let's find our way around.
The wings. I think that was one of the things I did like in their little.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that place. I think it's very good. We have just unfortunately had two lackluster, and the second one I'd say
gluttons for punishment. So even when we say something, we'll end up back.
I want to enjoy it. I want to. I definitely think it's a beautiful, stunning location, and I don't.
Custom shirt, and I'm going to wear it, and it says, "I want to enjoy this experience." It's all it's going to say. Like, I want to enjoy this experience.
And
then put a little.
It was also cold, so we're sitting there. We're like, now we're sitting in the cold, waiting to be waited on, and we're not getting anybody. And we were sitting there, smiles, like ready to go. They must have been fans of the podcast.
So,
saw what they said about Courtney. We're not waiting on her.
was her name Courtney? Courtney was her name.
I think so. I can't remember.
I don't know.
But the point is that you get that proximity. You get that ability to say, hey, I'm at my, because that is tough sometimes. If you're staying.
And by the way, we're not sitting here doxing
no,
Disney cats.
We're not. You don't even know those are their real names.
No,
we could have made
and the fact is, at the end of the day, they're their names.
But if you're staying somewhere that's maybe a little more isolated and that your main transportation is the Skyliner, it's not the same kind of jaunt because the Skyliner stops all the time. Buses have traffic. The monorail, yes, it does have its issues. We lucked out this time. We were like just missed where it was stopped for like an hour. I'm like, oh, that would have been terrible. Because the worst thing about that is when your kids have to pee. Monorail stop is an inconvenience, great. But like when your kids have to go to the bathroom and you're stopped on any kind of transportation, that's, I think, the worst part of it.
Well, monorail,
or anybody
especially monorail, just go. Because
right.
most of the time
it smells like it anyway.
It smells like pee a lot of times.
But that's why I think that for the Grand Floridian, it is the atmosphere. It's not about the room I am sleeping in. It's not about, oh, I stay here because I love the look of this specific room. It's the whole atmosphere. It's hearing that piano music or that jazz as you're walking through. It's where do you want to be transported?
It's a vibe. And that's
100%.
Looking back the old school Grand Floridian.
Right.
Okay, way back when, one of my favorite things when we were younger and we got a chance to stay there or just to visit there was go on the water sprites. And the water sprites were little boats that you can go take out.
We were talking about that
Seven
this trip.
Seas Lagoon. You could go through and do all that. And I told them around, now they don't exist anymore. I don't know if they just had too much going on. They're like, oh, people
irresponsible people.
I think they but I also think they kind of stopped with the adding of the cabins at Wilderness Lodge and the bungalows at Polynesian because
probably
people would kind of disrupt some people's privacy if you went.
And maybe after the gator incident.
It was great because you can go right from Seven Seas Lagoon to Bay Lake and go all right because they have like Sammy Duvall's like water sports stuff. Shout out to my buddy Jim from way back when used to work for them. And like they go and you can go like wakeboarding or you could go like water skiing and you can do that all on Bay Lake. I don't know what they offer now because I haven't done that in a long time, but you can go out there amongst everything, go around Discovery Island, out to where like near where River. But
I just wonder with all the gator incident and stuff. Like
I think that's probably has something to do. But again, it's gonna.
And Lakeshore Lodge is coming along. You know, seing that there.
That'll be a neat.
There's definitely still room for another hotel along there where they'd originally planned that Mediterranean, where my Aladdin hotel would be perfect. But overall, there's two different vacations. If you were staying on the Epcot side or the Magic Kingdom side, I feel like they feel like very different. They're both deluxe resorts, but they just feel a different kind of vibe. So it's like, are you in the Magic Kingdom nostalgia, that side of Disney, or are you more in the Epcot festivals kind of thing? And that's why we love them both. Boardwalk is our home resort. Grand Floridian, you know, Josh has points there, so that's a home resort for him as well. And I just had the hardest time, I think, leaving the Grand Floridian. I've learned from this trip, I go, this is literally the saddest I get on a trip is leaving this hotel.
To summate what we're talking about, Grand is just that. It's grand. It's an amazing vacation. I don't think you'll be disappointed with it at all. It all depends on what type of vacation you're taking, whether that is worth it to you. So if you spend time there and you want to spend the cost, it's well worth it. You can not even have to leave the Grand Floridian if you didn't want to.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of things that are going to be, like Gina said, like
great restaurants, restaurants there, nice bars and lounges.
Service is great. I've only had very few times
smell.
Because that's another thing about Grand Destino Tower too. I'm like, we go in there, that's another great smell.
The smell, the DVC building,
Green Clover and Elf, like all those things they have.
The Grand Floridian one is like much more.
Gina, we're gonna go into the shout out portion of our thing. Shout out! Shout it out loud. We're going to shout it all
Because
day.
we could talk about this all
Yeah, all
We'll have to
about
do maybe
snacks, not facts. Okay.
another episode about this. 'Cause
All
there's
right,
so
Gina,
much
who we
could
shouting
say.
out this week?
We want to give a shout out this week to some friends of ours. Some of them you've seen on our podcast party, which is a wonderful thing about Disney. They are actually planning a cruise with Adventure Awaits by Ashley and Foolish Mortals. I'm so sorry. I should have looked this up beforehand. Another
This is
friend.
where we don't-
Forgive me, guys.
But check it out. You can find it on their page.
You know we're not good on research. But anyway, I don't want to say Foolish Happy Haunts, but maybe it is Foolish Mortals. I got to look into this, guys. Research. Make a note, Josh. Research next time. But anyway, you can find it via either of their pages, Adventure Awaits by Ashley or Wonderful Thing About Disney podcast. And check it out because they're doing a cruise. It's on the Destiny, right, Josh? And it's in
Yes, it's
September.
September 14th to 18th on the Disney.
So
Destiny.
Ashley can arrange that.
That cruise, shout out you guys. We'll always support you. That cruise, I believe, also goes to Lookout and Castaway Cay.
Yes.
So you have both islands for Disney in that.
So check it out. Ashley can get that arranged for you. We love supporting our friends. I have not yet committed to that cruise as much as I would love to, just because we are planning to go to France. There's me on our fancy Grand Floridian episode now talking about, well, I'll be in
Foolish
Disneyland
Mortals and
Paris.
Happy Haunts.
I was right. It is both Foolish Mortals and Happy Haunts. Shout out. But we plan on being in France in September, and I just don't know the dates. If I can make both
That's a
happen,
Gina we. I don't have that kind.
I am all about it, says he who's got like 3 cruises this year. But that sounds amazing. Josh and I actually have plans next year to do a meetup cruise as well.
I know that Disney Trip Report says I mentioned something. I'm not going to spoil anything right now. I think mentioned something about cruises.
It's a great way to meet up. We love the Disney cruise. We think it's one of the best places to be because you're all kind of contained on the ship together. It's really fun. So
bottom line is we love. This is not selfish, this podcast. Okay. I hope everybody knows that. Like we talk about Festival of Friends and everything. Yes, that's something we're putting on. But we want to support you guys. And it's not saying, oh, we're going to pay us
this
to
is
do that. We're
about
not.
community, not competition.
We want as many people being able to hang out with each other and know that they're in a spot where they're going to be with great people. The fact that they put up like, oh, you have trivia this and this stuff, little meetups and loungy stuff. I'm all in with that. If I can afford, that's by my birthday, by the way, guys. So September 20th is my birthday. I will be, and yeah, that's what I said, 4 checks. So I wouldn't mind going to it. I just got to see if it's feasible for me to do it. But I love it because I also want to be on the Destiny because I'd love to go and experience the different things on there. Destiny has the Sanctum Sanctorum on there. It also has
Disney cruises we celebrate. They're worth the extra money. They're worth the extra money, let alone
that's 2 things that speak
the
to me. Like,
service alone is so different.
My favorite Marvel movie is Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And my favorite Disney park attraction is Haunted Mansion. So if I can get on that ship, like pry me away with a crowbar to get me out of this.
You know me, I go on a Disney cruise, I don't even need to get off the boat. I'll get off on Castaway Cay, but like I love being on the boat. And also, Josh mentioned Festival of Friends. Make sure you guys on either our social media, which is at BBT Magic Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, but on our website, bbtmpodcast.com or bringbackthemagicpodcast.com. It's all linked through our socials. But go there and you can find information about Festival of Friends. You can message our Festival Concierge Travel Views with Missy. So she will send you your registration and then you can Venmo the registration fee. Guys, just as a reminder, it was important to Josh and I that even though we know.
Time out. I just had a thing. The Grand Floridian tea is coming back and Missy's name is, her nickname is Moo. And then when she goes there, we can call her T-Moo. Shout out T-Moo. Sorry. Just
I was going to say that it was important to Josh and I that while we know we're doing all the legwork to orchestrate this meetup and everything, that the value you get for your ticket would be covered at very least in the goodie bag, in the gift bag, the welcome bag, as it is not like a kid's
you can be
party favorite bag.
Disney, but want to give you
that alone is going to have a retail value over that.
Yeah.
Also, guys, if there is anybody, shameless self-promotion here, but if there is anybody listening who would like to have a sponsorship with Festival of Friends, please reach out and let us know. But right now, that's important. So if you very least you know with your ticket price, you're getting it back in the welcome bag you're getting. But then Josh and I and Missy have orchestrated, because I can tell you from just being on this trip, being in Disney with somebody at the same time is not enough of a way to see them. Trying to text over and over, where am I going to see you? Where are you at? Where are you at? But we have taken that out. So the legwork, along with some fun activities, but saying, here's where the group is. You opt in, opt out. If you want to meet up at this part, you want to go do your own thing. It's very free and easy.
100%.
So check it out. Early registration ends February 1st.
Nice. Gina, tell them where they can find us in our socials and
Okay.
let that happen.
If you are watching us on YouTube right now because you love to see our stunning little faces and extra chins, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell because that means you're not going to miss a minute of the magic. You will always know when we have new content up. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment because I've seen a lot of you have gotten back in the groove of commenting and we really do enjoy seeing that and getting back to you guys. A lot of you comment along while you're watching. That's awesome. If you check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a follow there. Download the podcast if you want to. Comments there also appreciated. Reviews are great. I'm just going to list it all, everything my wish list. We have a new website that is bbtmpodcast.com or Bring Back the Magic Podcast, all linked in our socials at BBT Magic Podcast on Instagram, TikTok. Do you guys know I have no cue cards when I do this? I'm literally doing it off the top of my head.
You're just trying to get us feeling, oh, that's so great.
We're also on Facebook for those paleontologists that love the dinosaur social media. I just can't. I try. I get on there and I'm just like, it's just nothing.
No, it's a
happens for
cesspool
us on there. Nothing happens for us on there. So check it all out.
Yeah, definitely check it all out. And make sure you check out our t-shirt shop at themeparkchuckle.com. You can grab a Bring Back the Magic throwback Pleasure Island style t-shirt to show your support for the podcast before you force us to get off the air because we're broke.
Yes, I also want to remind everybody too.
We don't make money. Really
I also want to remind you guys on our Instagram or on TikTok, the link tree that we have there has promo codes for any of the small shops that we support, but there's also some other like corporate discounts that I have in there that we've set up through other companies. So if you're looking for a way to save on something or some new products to try, Josh and I only put stuff in there that we actually use ourselves.
Yeah, and you hear us talk about the cast member appreciation coins.
Oh, yeah.
Are in there too. Same way on our website.
Yes. Gave out a bunch this trip. We'll have to do a whole episode just about coin stories.
A fun time discussing a topic we actually really do love. We love all these things, but this is something we've always felt kind of passionate about, where the Grand was just something that we held like near and dear in our hearts. So it's been fun. I've had a good time. I'm glad everybody was able to join us once again for an episode of Bring Back the Magic Podcast. Please watch your head and step as you exit the podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bring back the magic for all to see. Together we'll discover all the joy and glow. In every story, there's a little bit of gold. Join our podcast adventure, let the magic unfold.